Hello and welcome back to Sort of Major Sit Rep. Well, last week was a rerun. I'm sure some of you caught that. Appreciate the comments, but I'll explain. Last week I was off, but I was not off. I was at the Capitol passing the very last budget as an Arizona State representative, and it was a great budget. It was the budget we shoved down Katie Hobbs' throat three different times. She came back not signing, threatening government shutdowns, wanted to renegotiate this or that and the other. Leadership held firm, members held firm. She did not get her Prop 123. She didn't get anything. She really did not get anything. We passed a very good conservative budget along with some ballot measures. One, protecting the ESA program. That's um, parents' choice in education where the money follows the student. Yes, we have that in Arizona. The Democrats are fighting everything with everything they have, with their own ballot initiatives, teachers' union money, all this nonsense to stop uh, parents educating their kids the way they want. But we're going to stop that. Uh, I'm very proud that we got Alexander Collins, HCR 2001 across the line. That was the SAVE Act for Arizona. It's something that we've all been working on, my committee especially, put a lot of time and effort back and forth. Uh, and what is perplexing is that the deep state, a lot of other elected officials, think we write bills to benefit them and make their job easier. That's not the case. If you're an elected official, especially a recorder, and you are campaigning against this piece of legislation, I want you to tell the American people what part you don't support. Is it the IDs? Is it the cleanup of vote by mail? Is it being an American citizen? Is it being no foreign money in our elections? What part of that do you not support? And maybe you should tell the voters why. Now, they claim it's funding, it's extra work, it's all this. Well, we told them we'll put the funding in there. You give us the estimate, we'll give you the funding. Clean elections is that important that we will fund whatever you think within reason that it costs to do what we want to do. Now, the naysayers, the Democrats, oh well, this is just like Florida. Well, that's the point, idiot. Florida is the gold standard for the United States when it comes to elections. They went from hanging chads all the way to the gold standard. We met with those Florida officials last year, year before last, and before this session. We met with them to make sure that we caught not only the nuance but the hard and fast rules and things that worked in Florida, so they are the gold standard. So we copied those things. We passed them in our committees. We pushed that forward, and the Democrats are livid because they know if this happens, their little cheats are pretty much gone. So that's what I was doing last week. I was on the House floor for over 18 hours, in the building for almost 30 hours. Little negotiations and that in between, but done. That was my last Arizona budget. And during this time, I know the story is getting a little old. Nobody's paying attention to it anymore. But I was taking some notes, even though I couldn't comment on it then. I want to talk about Elon Musk becoming a dirty trillionaire. This Elon Musk and his trillions of monies all over the place. He's got money just to burn, according to Elizabeth Warren. So let's start off this episode. And yeah, I'm laughing at myself because Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, these freaking communists um, just just infuriate me, but it also makes me laugh because Elizabeth Warren now talking about she could be entitled to reparations because of her heritage. Remember, she did the whole college thing on being a tribal member, and it turns out she's not. She's as white as that sheet of paper over there on the desk. This crazy nut job. What I call her pale feather Warren. But let's look at this clip right here. This clip from Fox News. We'll let it play.
To celebrate. Rich, he took thousands of his workers with him. I think some 400 became 100 millionaires. These were engineers, electricians, these are cafeteria workers.
Yeah. There's an immigrant welder, Charlie, who's now a millionaire.
Yes.
So tell that to that guy that this is not a wonderful thing. But Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, it's not that they hate the fact that he's a trillionaire. It's that they hate the fact that he gets to keep it. They want it.
All right. Now, you saw that. You heard that. Her and Bernie are just up in arms that, and somebody could make $1 trillion. Bernie Sanders would try and unionize Santa's elves if he could, and they would go on strike, and we would end Christmas. This is up to Bernie Sanders. So let's watch this next crazy Liz Warren clip here.
Musk is officially the world's first trillionaire. Think about that. We're living in a time when more and more people are just hanging on by their fingernails to survive in this economy. And Elon Musk has more money and more wealth than anyone in human history. I want to be clear. This is not just some fluke. It is a feature of a rigged economy. Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill cut health care for millions of Americans to give guys.
You hear this. Okay. So that's their take. That is their take on what an African American, yes, Elon Musk is an African American, legitimate African American. He's from South Africa. His parents are from South Africa. He was born in South Africa. He's an immigrant. So much for giving the African American a chance in America, thanks to Bernie and Elizabeth Warren. So their joint criticism, and I'm going to be a little bit serious here, their joint criticism is based on their communist ideology and what the Democrats see as someone taking something away from someone else. But let's really break this down. So Elon Musk has done some tremendous things, and he's had some flops. Where did this all start? This started with PayPal. Something that he made and he sold and made millions on and had bigger aspirations to do bigger things. I think that's called the American entrepreneurial spirit. And Milton Friedman spoke of the free economy. He spoke of capitalism and how left unchecked, yes, I said that, left unchecked, if you let the system, the market, work as intended with no outside interference, that product will either live or die, succeed, not succeed. So if it's something popular, that's affordable, can be made to where the owner receives a profit, the product will last, everybody prospers. You get something at a cheap price, they make money, and we have a product that serves the people or serves your needs. It's just that simple, folks. It's how it's supposed to work. So talking about this, I think this is a great time just to segue right into the ad that I talk about every week. And let's talk about it now, because this gold ad I'm about to talk to you about is, yes, 100% an advertisement, but 100% relevant, especially with this show today and what's going on within the United States. So you know how it starts off. I do it every week. I ask, okay, let me ask you something personal. How'd you sleep last night? Did you wake up at 3 a.m. thinking about bills, thinking about groceries going up twice as much? Of course, that's how it starts off. That's what I read every week. But don't just listen to the words. Think about it. I mean, we all do these things. We do. It's not imaginary. Everything is more expensive now. Whatever money you saved up until 2020 lost. Now, the ad says 22% of its value, but I've been looking at it, it's actually 24%, and that's not opinion. It's documented fact, and yes, the Iran conflict had something to do with that, but 24% of that money is gone. The value is gone. So this is why this ad works perfectly with this segment. And it's not about Elon Musk. It's about the Constitution, what it actually protects. It protects your right to property, the fruits of your labor. But your savings is still going to shrink. It's going to shrink, and it's going to get robbed, and it's going to be slowly and quietly by the hidden tax called inflation. And we're still fighting that. This is a pattern of government overreach that erodes everything we work to build. Most retirement accounts are 100% tied to the stock market. When it drops, your savings drop. You're exposed. But there's something you can do to defend yourself and protect everything you built. So I talk about it every week. It's diversification of your portfolio. You're diversifying your position. Your retirement, you can put some of this into physical gold, the real gold, like bars of gold, coins of gold, the kind that you can touch, feel, put in a safe, the kind that doesn't care what the market does, doesn't care what DC does to the dollar, doesn't care about the Iran war, doesn't care about anything. It just lives. Augusta Precious Metals, leading in this field. They've been helping thousands of America protect their retirement for over a decade. A plus rated by the Better Business Bureau. They walk you through everything. 3 simple steps. It stays in your IRA. Yes, stays there. Or your 401k. No taxes, no penalties. To get Augusta's free information gold guide, again, go to johnsgold.com. I say it every week, johnsgold.com, or text John 35052. Bottom line, it isn't about gold as an investment. It's about peace of mind, protecting what we have worked our entire life to build. Augusta Precious Metals, it's what they do. That's why I recommend them. Again, go to johnsgold.com or text John 35052. Understand the options, get the free gold guide, let them protect you and your family and everything you work to build. Okay, so why did that go with this? I'm going to explain. So Elizabeth Warren complains, Bernie and all the leftists, AOCs and all the communists complain that Elon Musk doesn't pay enough taxes. He's not funding the government as much as he should be. He's now a trillionaire. And she said this is a wake-up call, that somebody could make $1 trillion. So let's talk about that. So these numbers are estimated, and it's from the SEC. There's a couple of numbers are factual, but I took everything off the SEC website that I could find. And some are estimated numbers on their website, some are factual. So I'll go through them. Tesla. This is numbers of exact employees as of the end of 2024, midstream 25. Now, we know it's a fluctuating number, but this was actual documented employees on the Tesla payroll, 134,785. 134,000 people, almost 135,000 to the employees with Tesla. SpaceX, 25,000. That's an estimated range because they do hire temporary employees and contractors. These are not contractors in the mist. I don't know why they put SpaceX, Starlink contractors in with their findings and they didn't with Tesla, but it is what it is. 22,000. X, formerly Twitter, 3,000. XAI, 1,200. Just for that portion of the program. Neuralink, 600. The Boring Company is an estimate of 600 people. So Tesla, this is hard numbers now. This is from the SEC website. Tesla paid $1.2 billion in cash and income taxes in 2025. $28 million in federal, $151 million in different state taxes, $1.53 in foreign taxes, and they also reported a $1.4 billion income tax provision. So that puts them at an effective rate of 28%. But they're not paying their fair share. Billions. Estimate payroll tax at 155,000 people. And the FICA, Medicare, state taxes, all the other nonsense that goes with payroll. And you're looking at another $500 million. That's just the one company is what he's paying. So estimate for all the employees, now you're looking at contractors, and yes, I'm reading right off the SEC website, all the contractors, all the estimates, all the employees, this guy is paying about $7 billion in taxes a year. $7 billion. But he's not paying his fair share. I mean, yes, his personal income tax, I don't know what he pays. He probably has a lot of exemptions, but company overall. Now, what we didn't even mention was local property tax. Local property tax, you're looking at another billion in property taxes, VAT taxes, other taxes he has to pay. It's estimated that he is paying $39 billion, and that's the best numbers I can come up with based on government. These websites are crap, but about $39 billion a year just in taxes. That funds a lot of stuff, folks. How much more does he have to pay? I mean, really, how much more does one company, one man that owns a couple of companies, how much does he need to pay? Now, ask yourself this. The Ukraine war. Starlink was activated after the Russian invasion for free. He let the Pentagon use it. He let allies use it. He let the Ukrainians use it for free. Now think about the hurricanes and floods. Same thing. 10,000 Starlink kits sent for free. What did FEMA do? They didn't do anything. Nothing. They gave them, what, $200 in a tent? He at least provided 10,000 free Starlink kits. That gave 911 emergency direct to sell, FCC allowed, and this is a little known rule. They changed the rules for Starlink, and they Elizabeth Warren, and it was Mark, all the Democrats pretty much were complaining. Well, the FCC is catering to Starlink. It was a short time rule change for the emergency deployment of Starlink, so people could dial direct 911 on their phone through Starlink, even if they didn't download it. They could do satellite calling through Starlink to get to a 911 emergency center. I think it was a perfect rule change. Now that rule, I just read on income.com and the FCC's website, that rule is no longer in play. So it was temporary. Imagine that, a rule going away. But the left looks at Musk. They see a pile of money. Most of us look at Musk and see launch pads, factories, satellite, engineers, welders, truck drivers, suppliers, battlefield communications, all the subcontractors, all the other people that make his company run that are secondary to his employment needs, the folks that he contracts, the contractors that the contractors contract. Makes sense of that. But Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, they're selling their policy in the form of envy. Well, Musk builds everything and he has everything and he's not sharing with you. Now they're bringing that political message into, well, he's stealing from the American people. He's stealing from the government. Musk builds capacity. He builds capabilities that the U.S. needs. He shares with the U.S. He's friendly with the U.S. He is a U.S. citizen. If we tax his company out of existence, we no longer have those capabilities. He pays plenty of taxes. Now, just like I said with Augusta Gold, the Constitution protects private property. It's the real thing, folks. The real thing. That is what the Constitution does. So it protects his contracts, his inventions, even his risk, and most importantly, protects his rewards. That system produced Tesla, SpaceX, Starlink, reusable rockets that can go up, circle the globe, and come back down and land vertically. Think about that. You're taking a rocket, and the closest we've ever had from NASA and all the billions and trillions wasted in the space program, when we had the space shuttle, it went up and it came down, and it needed a very long runway, perfect weather, all the things. Elon Musk vertically parks this back on a loading dock that's equipped to handle the rocket. Now, if that's not amazing, and I'm not a big space guy, but if that's not amazing and something the U.S. can use, then I don't know what is. I don't know what is. The bottom line, Musk didn't become a trillionaire by stealing from workers. He became a millionaire by innovation, free people, free markets, investors, engineers, customers that built value on a national scale. That's how he became a trillionaire. And he used Milton examples of free market economy to do so. So why beat this guy up? Well, he doesn't fit their political narrative. He's goofy, he's MAGA, he looked for fraud, waste, and abuse in the government. He became a trillionaire. Everything the Democrats hate is what this guy does. And everything that he's doing is supporting and executing the American dream. Democrats hate the American dream, just like they hate everything else. Now, we're having a battle here in Arizona, and we put a ballot initiative on that says, and the people will be able to vote on it, that taxpayer money, so school districts cannot use taxpayer money to fund union events or give to the unions. They are livid about it. There were Democrats on the House floor crying that we put this bill on the board. I mean, literal tears. They just couldn't believe it. They're besides themselves. And now what they're trying to do, well, these are public worker unions to include you. Do you guys know police and fire have public unions? We do. Police and fire don't fund their unions the same way. It's member funded. Now, personally, I don't think any public employee, i.e. government employee, should be in a union. We've seen the unions destroy part of the Pentagon. A lot of federal agencies are destroyed by union workers that you can't fire. I have a great example of one that when I was on active duty, this individual, a female minority, lied on her application about her security clearance. Actually, her security clearance had been revoked. She failed to mention none of that. So HRC onboards her, puts her in the unit, and of course it comes to my desk. I look at it. I'm like, well, the security clearance is revoked. I can see it right here on the system. She's revoked. So talks to the commander. Okay, we got to fire her. She can't even be in this section of the building. I don't even know if she can be in the building. So I have a couple dudes escort her out, explain the situation. We send her home. We call HRC. They say you can't do that. No, you have to show cause. Okay, I'll send you the printout. She doesn't have a security clearance. Everybody in this building is required to have a TSSCI. She is revoked. No matter what the reason is, she doesn't have the clearance, doesn't meet the minimum qualifications of the job. 7 months to fire this woman, and we had to pay her the entire time. She lied on the application, which is a federal crime. They didn't prosecute. They did everything in their power to retain her and give her other jobs, but every single job in that building required a security clearance. So where's she going to work? She lied on her application, and we're trying to retain her because of some union nonsense. She was a union employee. Shouldn't happen. If Sergeant Major fires your ass, there should be no union that protects you, especially if you lied on your application. So this is the Democrats' thinking, though. Well, we have to protect our employees. We have to make sure everybody is safe from the evil bosses. But back to what I was talking about, the Democrats are lumping police and fire in with teachers. They are not the same. Teachers union, police and fire unions, not the same. And that's what the Democrats are trying to do. Now, these are the same Democrats that were defunding law enforcement, are still defunding law enforcement. We just heard of a few stories here in Arizona where 911 operators were putting people on hold, and there's a shortage and outages of 911. Why is that? Because dipshit Governor Katie Hobbs took about 14% away from the 911 program and moved it into some other program. That's why. It's not because workers are being mistreated. It's because law enforcement is being defunded by the left, and then they cry when something doesn't go their way. So that's what's happening in this world today. Next week, I've got a copy of the MOU. I'm breaking it down. I know JD Vance spoke about it yesterday. And no, folks, we are not giving Iran $300 billion of taxpayer money. That money is predicated on performance of contract. And guess what? If they don't perform, like Donald Trump said, we'll just bomb the shit out of them again. We'll bomb them into oblivion. But the Iranian people deserve a chance to take their country back, get rid of radical Islam, and go back to normal. And if I don't want to get into the big Jew debate over Iran and all the stuff, but just go back and do a little research on Iran 1979 and prior to 1979 when they were a normal country, very similar to the United States, even with their Islam tendencies, they were still a quite normal country. And those people deserve a chance to become normal again. They deserve a chance to throw out the mullahs and the IRGC. And hopefully we'll get there. If not, we'll bomb the shit out of them again. So with that, folks, Democrats hate America. Train like they hate you, because they do. We'll see you next week. Thanks.